Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I'll give it just maybe like 30 more seconds, let people join in on this Facebook Live before I start talking about our weather impact alert day that we've got going on for today. Making sure all of my streams are good to go. Okay, my audio's good. All right, so let's just go ahead and dive right into it. I've got a couple minutes that I can spend with you before I've got to go hop on a call with the National Weather Service in Huntsville. But yeah, I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's expected to happen tonight and early tomorrow morning, so Saturday morning. Right now, we really don't have anything on the FOX54 radar. I put it into a loop. This is the last hour. Any type of rain is staying off to our west at the moment, but once you zoom things out, that's a different story. We've got a severe thunderstorm watch off to our north. Now, earlier this morning, there was a tornado watch in portions of Arkansas, Missouri, but that has since expired. Now the only types of the tornado watch is actually right now, which is for portions of Arkansas and Missouri. That area is what's going to be moving in our direction. Now, what you see up above Nashville in the Lexington, Fayette area, that was kind of like I guess you could say, beginning stage of the main event, if you will, that's going to be happening later tonight for us. But it's just prompted a severe thunderstorm watch off to our north and east, but we've got a tornado watch off to our north and our west. So far, we don't have any tornado warnings on our satellite and radar for the region, just a few severe thunderstorm warnings out there. But so far, we're just going to continue to deal with cloud cover here in the Tennessee Valley. I'm trying to keep up with the comments, make sure I'm not missing anything. Let me just prop my phone up right there. So yeah, that's what we've got going on right now. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, they updated, I would say about 17 minutes ago. I think the update happened around noon. Nothing changed. But if you haven't since last night seen any sort of update, which I'm hoping you have, they have introduced a moderate risk for portions of Kentucky and Tennessee. It goes all the way north into Illinois, Indiana, covers Missouri, of course. But here for us at home, it's kind of the same thing. We have mostly a slight risk that covers the area. And then the enhanced risk has been moved a little southward. It does include Giles and Lincoln counties in Tennessee, and then of course it clips the northwestern portion of Lauderdale County as well. So areas like Waterloo is within this enhanced risk. Majority of us remain in a slight risk, and then of course marginal as these storms move. They're going to take more of like a southeastward track as they move through. So that's why we've got that marginal risk for areas like Coleman County, Marshall County, DeKalb counties. They are expected to weaken as they move through the Tennessee Valley. So don't get too caught up though in the different categories. Basically what the categories mean for us is coverage area. You can kind of think of it like precipitation, where we've got isolated showers, scattered showers, numerous showers, widespread showers. That's kind of how this takes it into consideration, where the marginal would be isolated and slight would be scattered. Severe storms are in the forecast. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it is in the forecast for us here in the area. So I'm going to show you the timing map, because the timing map has updated a little bit. It has kind of pushed this later. I know earlier it was right around 7 o'clock for a start time in the northwestern part of North Alabama, but that has since been pushed back to about 10 o'clock, which I have been checking weather models, and they are staying pretty consistent. So I probably would say around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock going to start to enter into our area. And then it's going to become more centralized around midnight. And then by 5 a.m. at the latest, the rain and any storms, any severe weather threat that we're going to be seeing should be out of the way by then. So storm threats haven't changed. A few tornadoes are going to be possible, but that's the least concerning for our threats for this specific event. Damaging wind gusts of around 60 miles per hour and hail up to about 1 inch in diameter are what we're going to be focused on the most. And then of course heavy rainfall that could potentially lead to a few areas of localized flash flooding. We're going to watch for that as well. So I'll take you through our futurecast. This is our HER model, a high resolution model. This is actually the newest run. So like I mentioned earlier, models are staying pretty consistent with a 10 o'clock beginning time for northwestern Alabama. And then we'll see this move through. It's going to kind of take a little bit of a southeastward track. Now, of course, all storms move west to east, unless it's like a certain scenario, like we're dealing with tropical weather sometimes. But it's going to start to take a little bit of a southeastward track. It's not going to be moving west to east specifically. But by about midnight, areas like Athens, Huntsville, Decatur, Hartselle, Priceville, Ardmore, probably going to be seeing the heaviest of this move through. And then about 2 a.m. into the 3 a.m. hour, notice how we're starting to pick up on those reds and those pinks, and they're kind of drooping a little more towards Coleman. That's what I mean by that southeastward track that we're going to be watching for. And then by about 4 a.m., areas like eastern side of Coleman County, Blount County, Marshall County, Etowah County, Jackson, DeKalb County is probably going to be seeing this move through by then. And as I mentioned earlier, about 5 a.m. early Saturday morning, that's when we are expecting this to be completely out of the way. Now heading into tomorrow, we do have a marginal risk, but tomorrow's not a FOX54 weather impact alert day. We're just going to have to potentially watch for maybe damaging winds and a little bit of hail, but tomorrow's not expected to be anything like today. There's no tornado threat for tomorrow, but that's going to be specifically in the afternoon. So once again, we've got a weather impact alert day. This is going to be for the time window of tonight around 10 o'clock until early Saturday morning, 5 a.m. So this is going to be a nocturnal event, meaning majority of us probably going to be asleep when this happens. So you definitely need to have a way to receive warnings if they do become issued. One of those ways is going to be to download the FOX54 app, because if we have any type of warning that becomes issued, you're going to get a push alert sent out to your phone. So definitely keep your phone on loud. And then of course, a NOAA weather radio. That's probably the thing that I would push on people most to have, is a NOAA weather radio, because they're always reliable. They're extremely loud. And then it's good to, just have your safe space in mind in case we do get a tornado warning, because that threat is there, but it's really low. I will say I wouldn't be too overly concerned about it, but wouldn't be surprised if we potentially maybe have a tornado warning or two throughout the overnight tonight, but it's not expected to be a widespread issue. The greatest threat for severe weather is going to be staying off to our north, like I showed you earlier with that moderate risk. So damaging winds and hail are what we're going to be focused on the most, and some heavy rainfall. So this is all I've got for you for this afternoon. Just make sure that you stay weather aware heading into tonight and early tomorrow morning. And then of course Jordan will probably do some sort of a Facebook Live later this evening as this system grows closer to us. I know he'll be live right after the newscast. Of course, we'll have the 5:30 newscast. He does a extra weather segment at 6 o'clock on FOX54 Plus, where he's probably going to go into more depth about this scenario. And then, of course, we'll have the delayed 9 p.m. newscast. It's expected to start right around 10 tonight. And that's probably where it's going to be, starting to happen. That's going to start to move through. So that's all I got for you. Of course, if anything changes, I'll push out alerts on my Facebook page, and Jordan will be doing the same. But until then, I'm going to go ahead and end this Facebook Live. I've got a few things that I need to do behind the scenes, and then I've got a meeting with the Weather Service here pretty shortly. So no need to have storm anxiety for this event. It's just going to be one of those quick things that moves through. I think we're starting to get into our summertime pattern a little bit, where we can expect to have some damaging winds and a little bit of hail within some of these showers and storms that develop specifically in the afternoon. that's kind of what this is going to be like with a small tornado threat. So nothing to get, you know, too overly concerned about, but definitely have some sort of a way to wake you up in case we do have a warning that becomes prompted throughout the overnight. So until then, just make sure you're staying up to date with the latest weather updates. Of course, you can follow me on Facebook. You can follow Jordan on Facebook. And then, of course, we'll have our newscast tonight. So until then, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Friday and the weekend ahead.